start Unit 4, Chapter 1, which speaks about capacity to the contract. The first things when we start the competent to contract which comes to our mind is who is a competent person to enter into contract is the question. When such mean the question, the right answer to the question will always be the section 11 of the Indian Contract Act, that states that every person is a competent to contract who is of age of majority according to the law to which he is subject, and who is of sound mind, and he is not be disqualified from entering into a contract by any law for time being in force. So thereby you can clearly state that who is incompetent person or incapacity person to the contract, that is minority, the mental incompetence and the status. These three conditions are taken into consideration while you are considering a person as an incapacity to the contract. Thereby you can state who is competent to enter into a contract. After looking into section 11, we can clearly make out who is a competent person. That is, in order to call that such a person is a competent person to enter into a contract, the first thing is he should have attained the age of majority. This is the first aspect. And the second aspect, that he should be of sound mind. And the third aspect, that he should not be disqualified. See, this is not. He should not be disqualified from entering into any contract by any law for time being in force, that is in India. This is what the section 11 in toto speaks about, who is competent to enter into contract, at the same time who is incompetent to enter into a contract, right? Next we'll take up the who is a minor. State the legal provisions relating to the contract entered by the minors. An agreement entered into by the minor cannot be enforced at law. So this is the question. When we speak about the competence to the contract, the first things comes that who is the minor, what are the legal provisions, what the legal provisions will speak about the minors, will the agreement or the contract being entered by the minor is considered valid or is it invalid, do they possess some validity in the eyes of law. These are all the n number of questions that comes to our mind, which will be digged through getting into the capacity to the contract. So one such is who is the minor. The first question, we'll take up the answer to it. A minor is a person who has not attained the age of majority. See, the who is the minor, if any question asks that who is the minor, who has not attained should be the first point, and the age of majority is second point. What is the age of majority? That is 18 years, which has been executed in section 3 of the Indian contract. Okay. So thereby it is very clear that person who has not attained the age of majority will be considered as a minor. Okay, and the age of majority is determined by the law. It is not decided by the common law. Sorry, it is not decided by the common people like you and me. This age of majority will be determined by the law, that is through the enactment legislation. So which enactment speaks, the next question is which enactment speaks about the majority? When such is the question, the Indian Majority Act of 1875. So this is the enactment, or you can call it as this is a law. Indian Majority Act of 1875. This, in that section 3 of that act defines that who is a minor. It defines that a minor is a person who has not completed the age of 18 years. But there are certain exceptions to this clause, that is, in following two exceptions, a person gets a majority at the age of 21 years. What is those two exceptions? That is the question. One such exception is point 1, that where a court has appointed the guardian of the minor's property or minor person, or sometimes both, under the Guardians and Ward Act of 1890, In such circumstances, a child gets majority at the age of 21 years. Okay, and in the second instance, that where the minor's property has been placed under the